Hi there. In today's video, I want to talk about something that blocks a lot of people from actually stepping forward, stepping into their power and working their purpose essentially. And it's because many people don't see their own unique gifts and talents. So if this is you and you're stopping yourself from moving forward because you're like, I don't have anything to offer, like what could I possibly have to bring to this world? What could I possibly have to do? Please stay tuned. This video is for you. Now, before I dive into the topic, if this video is of value to you, please like, share, and subscribe. I also have all my social media connections down below and also my email, my website, if you are interested in working one-to-one with me in your career. So, when I am working with clients, this invariably happens somewhere along the process where we're working together. I start to ask them, okay, what are the things that you've done really well? And I honestly get a lot of times just kind of, I don't want to say blank stares, but just kind of people going, I don't know, like legitimately, I don't know. And I've heard this enough times now myself to certainly understand what's going on and to also understand that this is really, really common. So it is something that stops a lot of people moving forward. And I want to explain why we can't see often our own genius. I mean, it's called different things in the world. Zone of genius is that terminology is out there now. It's your unfair advantage. It could be your brilliance, whatever you want to call it. There's all this language around what that is. But the truth of the matter is we all have it. We just don't necessarily always recognize that in ourselves. So why is that? I'm going to list 4 reasons in today's video why you may not be seeing it within yourself. Reason number 1, it comes to you so easily, so naturally, so effortlessly, you don't actually give it any credence. You're just like, it's just what I do. It's not a big deal. Here's the thing. Your zone of genius, your brilliance is supposed to be easy. It's easy for you, but I can guarantee that it's not easy for everyone. We assume somewhere along the way, well, everybody does it kind of this way. Everybody knows how to do this. This is something I know I did for years, and I'm going to trickle my example of my career shift and everything throughout this video because it's really the experience that I know best, obviously, because it's myself. But I know when I was in the corporate world, one of the things that I do really well is if I'm given a scenario and somebody says, well, what if we did this? My brain does this thing where I go all different potential outcomes. My brain just goes, well, if we did this, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. Like my brain just goes crazy doing that, looking for all the opportunity, looking for all the risks. I do this so naturally, I don't even think about it. And I thought everybody did this. I thought everybody just had that ability to be given a scenario and to be able to look at all the potential paths. Turns out that's not the case. For so many years, I thought everybody just did that. And so I can guarantee you there's somewhere in your life that you're just like, it comes so naturally to me. Why is this special? I can guarantee you it is special. So if this is you and you're wondering about this, brainstorm back on the last number of years. What are the things you really do easily? Even in your daily activities, what are the things that you do really effortlessly? Because I can guarantee you, not everybody does. The second reason that people often don't see their brilliance is because people have told them over the years, either verbally or through, actions, that it's not valuable. This was a huge one for me. And often when I talk to people who have been corporate for a long time, they will share this same thing. They feel like they've been almost shamed and, told this is not appropriate or whatever they're doing or being. So I'm going to give you the example of myself. So one of my zones of genius, my areas of genius, is I see situations that aren't working and I automatically go to solution. That's just how I work. And so if I see something is not working, I try to think of ways to make it better. And I'm going to tell you, this has not been very well received over the years by different people in my life. Most notably, like my earlier years in my family, I have come from a very conservative family that does not like change. And here I'm like, well, this isn't working. Why aren't we just changing it? Like, just seems so natural to me. Like, let's just change it. And for me, it doesn't come from a place of, oh, we're bad for doing this or shaming people. It's just like, okay, well, it's not working. Let's just figure this out together. Like, let's not make a big deal out of it. Let's just find a solution. It's honestly how I think. But it's been received by people who, for whatever reason, that this is, for whatever reason, they're not comfortable with what I can't even come up with the reasons why they wouldn't like it, but they've got their reasons, right? And I don't want to put words in their mouth, which is why I'm choosing my words carefully. I don't want to put words in their mouth why they didn't appreciate that. But that happened to me throughout my career as well. I'd be in the corporate world and I'm like, God, this isn't working. Like, why are we doing this? People were so resistant to change, like so resistant to it. And like I said, for me, it comes from a place of real non-judgment. It's just, let's just switch this up. So for many years, I felt such shame around us. I'm like, and I had to hide this. Like, I really had to hide this part of me because I could see there were people who did not appreciate it. And now, of course, I realize this is what I do. This is what I do in my work right now. I help people. People come to me and say, I want to change, but I don't necessarily know how. And I go, okay, let's do this. And I come from, again, that non-judgmental place. Let's just fix it. Let's find out what's not working for you and let's fix it. And let's help you move forward. I mean, it's brilliant when you see it afterwards. You can see how it works. But for so many years, like I got to tell you, I felt very, very uncomfortable, and I just felt like, what's wrong with me almost, like, or why don't people appreciate this? And I was in the wrong place around the wrong people, a number of those things. But now that's actually what's needed. And I love doing it. Like, it's so much fun. When I can see somebody make a shift and make progress, like, it really lights me up. So there's something in your life, or is there something in your life where you've been kind of told to tamper down, to sort of keep yourself down low? Don't be so much like this. That there's some gold there. There's something there for you to keep pulling. And I always say there's a thread there. Just keep pulling on that thread, seeing where it leads. The third reason that people don't often see their area of genius is their confidence is so low. When you've been doing the wrong thing for a long time, your confidence just gets shot. It does. I have people tell me this continually. Their confidence is just really, really low. And that's a sign you've been hiding yourself. You're doing the wrong place. You are completely out of alignment. So instead of necessarily trying to jump towards what's my area of genius, what am I meant to be doing, it can be helpful to work a little bit on that confidence aspect first. Once you start to feel better about yourself, you'll start to see the areas where you're naturally good at. And that's the key here. It's finding the areas that you're naturally good at, because those are the areas you're going to excel in if you're in the right place doing the right thing, right? So the fourth and final reason, this is super important because I see this and I hear this all the time from clients and from people online. Like, isn't it arrogant? Isn't it, we're taught not to boast or brag. We're taught to be humble. And I've heard that many times. It's like, I should be humble. And we've mistaken humility with almost like not owning who we are and almost self-deprecating a little bit. Because if you're not owning who you are actually self-deprecating. You're actually putting yourself down. You're not shining your light and being who you came here to be. There's a big difference between humility and self-deprecating attitudes and how you speak about yourself. So I want to talk about humility. This is how I see humility. So it's owning who you are. It's appreciating who you are, sharing who you are. First of all, it's not putting somebody else down in the process. That's a big part of it. Like, because I'm great and I think I'm great doesn't mean you're not great. In fact, I think you're great too. Like, I think we're all amazing. It's not a competition. We've got to take that element of competition right out of here. We all have areas where we are complete and total freaking rock stars. And we all have areas where, not so much, right? Our areas of growth. So it's not a competition. It's really not. Humility also is, like, for me in my situation, going, okay, so I've got these skills, I've got these strengths, but I feel so grateful and so honored that I get to do the work that I get to do. Like, when I'm in a one-to-one session with a client and they're having a breakthrough, they're having a moment, they're in tears or whatever it might be, because they've just had this release and relief because they've shifted. Like, I am truly honored. I feel so blessed. So that's what humility is about. It's not saying I don't have all these gifts, I don't have all these talents. It's actually saying, yes, I do have them, but we all do. And it's all really just about us stepping into our power. Now, I want to leave you with a final thought on this. What if we all owned who we really are and our zone of genius? Imagine if we all worked in what we were meant to do. Because I look out there, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. One of the many reasons why I'm doing the vision I have is, let's all be doing work we're supposed to be doing. Because for so many of us, me included, for many years, I was doing something, and maybe you're doing something where it's not bringing out the best in you. What if we all did jobs and careers and things in our life that brought out our natural gifts, our natural talents, and brought out the best in us? Like, I look at that and I think to myself, the world would completely shift because people would be happy. That's how we shift the world. We don't go and shift the world by trying to shift everything out there. The first thing we do to shift the world is shift ourselves and shift our own personal circumstances and come from a place of being whole and complete. So I just wanted to leave you with that final thought, and just a reminder before I sign off here. You have innate and natural gifts and talents inside you. I want you to really hear that. You truly do. Whatever circumstance you're in, whatever you've been told, whatever you've been believed throughout your life, I can assure you 100%, you have these natural gifts and talents.